Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Instructor Live. I'm Susanna, your Pilates instructor, and I'll be taking you through a 45 minutes Pilates Level 1 workout. It's suitable for beginners, improvers, and for anyone wanting to get back to basics. Today's the 5th class of this series, and as with the last 4 classes, I'll be teaching you some of the basic principles. I'll be teaching you good exercise technique, safe exercise technique, and taking you through a little workout. So as we've been doing throughout, we're going to be starting lying down on our backs to the edge of the mat. But before we get going, just remember, you can see me, I can't see you. So if you do have any questions, remember to drop us a line in our comment box, which you'll find on the right-hand top corner of your screen. So we've got our mat, we've got our water bottle, our towel, and we're going to come to the edge of the mat. So taking your towel, your water bottle with you. You're going to be lying with your pelvis to the edge, feet on the floor, on the carpet, and you're going to place your towel underneath your head. And then from here, I'm just wanting you to take a moment, relax the body into the ground, and just take a moment to collect information and see how you're feeling in your body for today. So you can close your eyes, just become aware of your skull in the ground, your shoulder blades, upper back, your arms, your hands, pelvis and feet. So how are you feeling? Are there any niggles? Are you feeling quite strong, fit, or are you feeling you need to be moving? So we're just taking information, and we're going to, at the end of the class, see how we feel in comparison. So with the eyes closed, we're going to work on placing the skull in a better position. So we're going to start with our little nod. So we start with gently nodding the chin towards the breastbone, and then towards the ceiling, and again towards the breastbone, and towards the ceiling. We're going to do a few more. So a little rocking action up and down. And then from there, I want you to find that in-between point. So I need you to bring your chin halfway between the chest and the ceiling. You take a moment. So skull stays heavy. You'll probably find that the neck feels a little bit longer. You're getting a little bit of a neck stretch there. From there, we're going to work on the placement of the upper back and the shoulder blades. So we're going to start with floating the arms up, turning the palms to face inwards, and we come into our shoulder drops as we've been doing in the last few sessions. So we go. Reaching through the fingers, through the arms, the shoulder blades come off the ground, the skull stays in contact, and then drop. And again, so it's actively reaching of the arms and then a letting go. We do that again. So reaching and drop. Reaching and drop. We do 3 more like that. Reaching and drop. So skull stays heavy. Last one, reaching and drop. So now very aware of your shoulder blades in contact with the mat. From here, I want you to imagine that your shoulder blades are moving away from each other. So creating a little bit more space between the shoulder blades, feeling a little broader in the upper back. And then from here, I want you to turn your palms to face forwards. Long arms, you're going to press the arms forwards, and you're going to gently press your hands into the ground. So I want you to keep your arms gently active, hands and fingertips gently pressing into the ground. We're going to then come into bringing our pelvis into a more ideal placement. So I need you to keep your hands as they are. I'll be moving my hands around. So I need us to find our neutral. So some of you already know how to find neutral pelvis. Some of you might still be figuring it out. So we're going to use our visual of our marble. So all of us, even the people that know what neutral is, because it's great to get some movement into the lower back. So we imagine we have a marble rolling towards the belly button and then towards the pubic bone. So that marble rolls towards the belly button and towards the pubic bone. So we do that again. Yeah, it's a very small movement. If I had to be quite aggressive with this, I would find that my marble would roll off my body or towards my chest. That would be too much effort. I need a small, soft, gentle movement. So, and again. So again, it's to find the ideal placement of the pelvis, which in turn will make it easier for the muscles to function better and for the joints to function better. It's also just a really good exercise to mobilize your lower back, to get a little bit of stretch in your lower back and in your sacral area. So now we're going to try and find that in-between point, that neutral. We want to bring that marble to the in-between point. So I want it to be in between the belly button and the pubic bone. As a checkpoint, I could run my hands over my pubic bone and hip bones to see if they're creating a flat surface. From there, you're going to find that you're going to have a curve in your lumbar area. So that's your lumbar curve, and that is natural, and we want to retain this lumbar curve. So hip bones, pubic bone creating a flat surface. So I'm in neutral pelvis, and I have the natural curve of my lumbar here, and I want to retain that. From here, what we're going to do is, again, ideally I want all of you to have your hands out, pressing into the ground. We're going to bring our attention to our feet. So I need you to have them hip distance, so that being in line with your hip sockets. So some of you might be too close or too far, so make the adjustments. And then from here, we're going to wake up the feet. We're going to start off by pressing the left foot into the ground and then relaxing, pressing the right foot into the ground and then relaxing. So you're going to keep going, alternating foot presses. And as you do that press, just be aware that you're wanting the heel, the ball, the side, and the toes to be gently pressing into the ground. We're going to do a few more like that. And then I'd like you to press both feet into the ground and then relax. Both feet and relax. Both feet and relax. We're going to do 2 more like that. Last one, press and relax. Now, I need just a little bit of pressure through those feet. So we're talking about 5-10% pressure. So I need them to be very gently active. They're going to help us keep our legs in alignment and our pelvis steady. So from here, we've got skull in position, upper back in position, arms and hands, pelvis and feet. And we just need to bring our attention to our breathing pattern and what's happening in the abdominals. So from here, your left hand stays as it is. Your right hand is coming to rest on your belly button. So I want you to give me very basic breathing. So you're going to inhale and exhale. And you're going to try and elongate that inhale and exhale. And exhale. In Pilates, we tend to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So if you're able, you're going to join me with that. So inhale through the nose and exhale. If you do have any breathing conditions, I just keep breathing. So don't worry too much about it. Breathing in and out through the Pilates way. And you do what you can. But if you can, you join me with the inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And as you do that, become aware of what happens to your belly. So as you inhale through your nose, you should find that your belly expands into your hand. As you exhale through your mouth, you should find your belly contracts, pulls away from your hand. We do that again. Inhale, belly presses into the hand. Exhale, belly pulls away from the hand. Keep that going. If you find that doesn't happen naturally in your body, you try and make that happen. So I breathe in, my belly expands. I breathe out, my belly contracts. Now, one more like that. So the next time the belly contracts, pulls away from the hand, you're going to try and retain that contraction, that pulling action, even as you breathe in. So now, even as I breathe in, and as I breathe out, so even as I breathe in, my belly is gently pulling away from my hand. So as I breathe in, there's still a little bit of abdominal tension, belly pulling away from the hand. As I breathe out, I'm reinforcing that pulling in action. So again, as I breathe in, I am maintaining that pulling in action. As I breathe out, I'm gently reinforcing that pulling in action. So again, as I breathe in, I am maintaining a little bit of abdominal connection. As I breathe out, I'm gently reinforcing that abdominal connection. So you're going to try and keep that in mind as we do our little workout. Yeah. So now we're set. This is our neutral semi-supine position. Yeah. Semi-supine meaning lying down with the knees bent. Yeah. And we've got our bones in place, our joints in place. We've woken up our abdominals. We've got our breath pattern. So we're going to get working out. Yeah. So we start with our leg slide. So I need you to keep your pelvis in neutral, or you can see it as needing to keep your marble in between your pubic bone and your belly button. as you move your legs. So inhale, your right leg slides away. Your left foot is gently pressing into the ground. Exhale, you pull the right leg back. Inhale, you slide the left leg away. Exhale, you pull it back. We do that again. Inhale, right leg away, right foot points. Exhale to pull back. So you're going to keep going with those leg slides. So your number one objective here is to maintain neutral pelvis, is to keep that marble sitting in between the pubic bone and the belly button, yeah? So you do that with awareness. You do that with your breath pattern. You do that with your awareness in your abdominal connection. And you do that with the opposite foot gently pressing into the ground, yeah? As time goes, you'll develop a little bit more stability. We're going to keep going. And I need the next left leg slide as your last left leg slide. And then to come back to neutral, feet parallel, feet gently active. We come to the arms now. Inhale, the right arm reaches back, so long arm, thumb points down. Turn the palm forwards to press forwards. Left arm, this time around. Inhale, reach back, thumb down, little finger up, press forwards. And again, inhale. So I'm still looking at keeping neutral pelvis. And the other thing I need to consider here is to keep the rest of my torso stable. So very often people tend to lift their chest or flare their rib cage up towards the ceiling. I need you to try and keep your rib cage and your chest in the same position. So the motion is through your shoulder joint. Yeah, it's only the arms that are moving. There's a tiny movement in your back, but it's minute, yeah? So we're going to do one more. Left arm. Inhale, exhale. So now we're going to incorporate leg and arm. So opposite arm and leg. We start with the left leg and the right arm. Inhale, they reach away from the body. Exhale, pull back in towards the body. So left arm, right leg. Inhale, away from the body. Exhale to pull back into the body. Away from the body, into the body. We keep that going. Away from the body, into the body. We're going to incorporate the breath pattern here. So I haven't focused on that yet. So now, inhale away from the body. Exhale in towards the body. Inhale away from the body. Exhale. And we keep that going. Inhale. So again, your main objective is to keep your torso steady, stable, to keep your pelvis steady, stable. Inhale. As you work on keeping it stable, you should find that the back muscles and the abdominal muscles respond. They work to help you keep steady, yeah? If your bones move around a lot, so it's kind of like a egg chicken thing. I need to try and keep my bones stable to get my muscles to work properly. If I keep my muscles need to work a little bit to help me keep my bones stable, yeah? We're going to do last one, and then we hold it here. We take a moment, so we again just go over our basics: feet, pelvis, upper back, arms, hands, and skull. So now we're going to come into abdominal curl up. So we're going to reach the arms back, both of them, and then we're going to press them forward. So both of them, we're going to do a few like this. So again, I need you to be very aware of keeping the torso steady. So can you keep your chest relatively in the same place and your ribs relatively in the same place? Pelvis stays in neutral. You're going to give me one more to stay here. Interlace your fingers. Bring your hands underneath your skull. Soften your shoulders away from your neck. Your elbows, it depends on the person. What I need is for your shoulders to be relaxed. So I'm going to keep my elbows here, and I'm going to try and keep the space between the elbows the same throughout these exercises. So we go. The hands float just off the ground. We relax the weight of the skull into the hands. We then use the elbows to lead. So we imagine that the elbows are trying to lift the whole weight of the skull and the torso up towards the ceiling and then towards the thighs. So that's our curl up. And then we need to gently sink down so the spine sinks back down into the ground. So we go float, soft shoulders, elbows stay in the same position. Now the elbows are lifting the weight of the skull and the torso up towards the ceiling, towards the thighs. Then to control that movement down. We're going to do 3 more like that without the breath pattern, yeah? So we just work on the choreography. So it's floating, then up towards the ceiling, towards the thighs, holding for a moment, and then to control the movement down. So as you do this abdominal curl up, I need you to be aware of keeping your feet gently active. trying to maintain your neutral pelvis. So very often people tend to move their pelvis. The pelvis stays in neutral. It's the spine that changes shape, yeah, and changes position. One more to float, to go up and then forwards, to hold for a moment, and then to control down. So now we're going to add the breath pattern and we're going to go a little bit quicker. So it's inhale to float, exhale to curl up and forwards, inhale to hold, exhale to control the movement down. We do that again. So it's inhale to float, exhale to go up and forwards, inhale to stay, exhale to control the movement down. We're going to do 3 more. So it's inhale to float, exhale to curl up, inhale to hold, exhale to control the movement down. Keep that going. 2 more. Inhale to float, exhale to curl up and forwards, inhale to hold, exhale to control the movement down. We've got the last one. Inhale to float, exhale to curl up, inhale to stay, exhale to control down. We take a moment. We're going to add little crunches. So we've been working on 5 crunches or 5 pulses. So we're going to do 2 sets of those today. We're going to float, come up and forwards, stay, and then 5 pulses. So think of the elbows leading towards the thighs, and we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then to control the spine down. We're going to do that once more. So it's to float, elbows towards the ceiling, then towards the thighs. Take a moment. Is the pelvis in neutral? Are you getting the height from your spine instead of cheating, trying to move from the pelvis? 5 crunches. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then to control the movement down. Take a moment. I'm hoping you felt that, yeah? I felt that just a little. So we're going to take a little break from that. We're going to bring our attention into getting movement into your back, which is nice for your back muscles, and also getting the waist muscles to work. These will continue working, but in a different way. Your ankles and knees come together. They're very gently pressing into one another. You're going to take your arms out. Your palms are going to turn down, and your hands are a little below the shoulder line. So your hands are active, fingers are active, as are your arms. You're going to keep your head in the same position. So we start with our sways. We're going to sway to the right, legs sway to the right, and then legs sway to the left, yeah? It's pretty relaxed motion. If you find that your back, if it feels like your back is overarching, what you could do is walk your feet a little bit closer to your pelvis. It should reduce the curve somewhat. So we're going to do that. Carry on with our sways. So we want to make it bigger, and it's going to become more of a hip roll. So now I'm going to take it to the right. Yeah, so I go a little further. Now, how do I know how far I go? This left shoulder blade of mine stays on the ground, yeah? So my legs are dropping to the right, my left shoulder blade stays on the ground. If my left shoulder blade was lifting off the ground, I know that I've taken my legs too far over. Yeah, you're going to come back, and then you're going to drop over to the left. So I have a little comment here from Angela H. And she's just said that it feels great. Thank you. Thank you for that. Hopefully by the end of the workout, you'll feel even better. Yeah, we're going to keep going. So my legs are veering to the left. The soles of my feet are off the ground. My right shoulder blade staying on the ground. Yeah. So some of you may find that your legs are a little higher up. Yeah, you don't have to go as far as I've gone. Exhale to come back. So let's focus on the breath here. Inhale, legs go to the right. Powerful exhale to come back. Inhale, the legs go to the left. Powerful exhale to come back. Legs go to the right. Powerful exhale to come back. Legs go to the left. Powerful exhale to come back. I want 1 more on each side. So it's inhale, exhale back to center. Inhale, exhale back to center, and hold. So now we come back to feet hip distance. We come back to arms alongside the pelvis. We are going to incorporate leg slides with the abdominal curl up. So we go. Arms reach back as we did before. Interlace the fingers. Bring your hands underneath your skull. Soft shoulders. So take a look at your elbows. You're going to try and keep them the same distance apart throughout. So inhale to float. Exhale to curl up. Inhale, slide your right leg away. Exhale, pull the right leg back. Inhale, slide the left leg away. Exhale, pull the left leg back. Inhale to stay. Exhale to control the movement down. So we're going to do that again. Inhale, float. Exhale to curl up. Inhale, left leg slides away. Exhale to pull back. Inhale, right leg slides away. Exhale to pull back. Inhale to stay. Exhale to control the movement down. And we continue that way. Inhale to float. Exhale to curl up. Inhale, slide away. Right leg. Exhale to pull back. Inhale, left leg away. Exhale to pull back. Inhale to stay. Exhale to control the movement down. And again, inhale to float. Exhale to curl up. Inhale, left leg away. Exhale to pull back. Inhale, right leg away. Exhale to pull back. Inhale to stay. Exhale to control down. So today we're going to add a little change here. So inhale to float. Exhale to curl up. Now inhale, right leg away. Exhale, right leg to pull back and crunch. Inhale, left leg away. Pull back and crunch. We're going to stay here for a few more. Inhale, right leg away. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, left leg away. Crunch. I want one more on each side. Inhale, right leg away. Crunch. Left leg away. Crunch, stay. And then to control the movement down. Okay, we're going to do one more set like that. So it's to float, to curl up, to stay. Left leg this time round. Inhale, left leg away. Exhale, pull and crunch. Inhale, right leg, pull and crunch. Inhale, left leg, pull and crunch. Right leg, pull and crunch. One more on each side. Pull and crunch. Pull and crunch, hold it there, and then to control the movement down. Take a moment. So again, we're going to give those a little break. Hopefully, again, you've felt something. If you haven't felt much in the abs, it's probably you're carrying too much of the work in your neck and your arms, and that takes time and a little bit of tweaking in the technique. Yeah, we can work on that as we go along. We've got ankles, knees together again. Again, you could bring your feet a little bit closer to your pelvis. You're going to take your arms out, turn your palms down once again. So we're going to do the same hip rolls, but we're incorporating the head movement. So your legs are going to veer to the left. Your head is going to look to the right. So legs left, head to the right. Exhale to come back to center. So inhale, legs veer to the right, head to the left. Exhale to come back to center. You keep that going. So the more you focus on a powerful exhalation, the more you're going to find that there's more of a natural response in the core muscles. So you're going to find that all your abdominal muscles and your back muscles are contracting to help you bring your legs back. So inhale as I go over, powerful exhale. And that helps me come back. Inhale, I go over, powerful exhale. And that helps me come back. I need one more on each side. Inhale, powerful exhale. Last one. Inhale, powerful exhale. And to come back. Take a moment. Back to feet hip distance. So last week we added the crisscross. So the abdominal crisscross. We're going to come into those again. So we go back to arms to the side. So again, feet parallel, pelvis in neutral. Do you have some sort of abdominal connection? What's happening to your lumbar curve, shoulders, head? So now reach both the arms back, interlace, bring your hands underneath your skull, float your hands just off the ground, soft shoulders. So we're going to focus on the right elbow. So the space between the elbow stays the same. Right elbow moves across towards the left hip. You look towards your left hip, and then you come back to that hovering, to that floating position. Same side. Right elbow towards the left hip, look towards the left hip, and then to control that movement back to that hovering, to that floating position. Same side. So the breath is exhale, I go across. Inhale, I stay. Exhale, I control the movement. Inhale, I stay. I want two more. Exhale, I go across. Inhale, I stay. Exhale, I control the movement down. Inhale, I stay, hover, float. Exhale, across. Inhale to stay. Exhale to come back. Inhale to stay. And then here I just want you to relax all the way down. We're going to do that on the other side. So we go, float. So now, soft shoulders, think left elbow. Exhale, left elbow across towards the right hip, look to the right hip. Inhale, stay here. Exhale to control that movement to come to that floating point. Inhale to stay. Exhale, left elbow across towards the right hip, look towards the right hip. Inhale, stay. Exhale to control the movement to stay in that floating position. I want 3 more. So exhale, I go across. Inhale, I stay. Exhale, I control. Inhale, I stay. Exhale, I go across. Inhale, I stay. Exhale to control down. Inhale to hover. 1 more. Exhale to go across. Inhale to stay. Exhale to control the movement. Inhale to stay. Exhale all the way down. So we're going to do 1 across to the right, and we're going to add 5 crunches. Yeah, we're going to try 2 sets of 5 crunches today. We're going to see how that goes. So again, if 2 sets of 5 is too much, you could aim just to doing 2 sets of 2. Yeah, you see, you need to build up your endurance, so you can play around with the repetition. So we start with floating, right elbow towards the left hip. Stay, I'm going for 5 crunches. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then to control the movement to stay hover, I'm going to do my next set straight through. Right elbow to left hip. So I go up and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then to control that movement down, all the way down this time around for a quick recovery. So again, we try that on the other side. We float, take a moment, heavy head, soft shoulders, think of the left elbow, keeping the space between the elbows the same. So left elbow goes across towards that right hip, look towards the right hip, 5 crunches, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then to control back to the floating, to the hovering position, and go straight back in. So take a moment, 5 crunches, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then to control that movement all the way down this time round. Okay, so bring your right knee in, give it a little squeeze, place the foot down, bring your left knee in, give it a little squeeze, place the foot down, take a moment. And what we're going to do is, before we lie on our side, we're going to do our spinal curl-ups first today. So we've got feet 1 foot or 1 foot and a bit away from the pelvis, feet parallel, pelvis in neutral, long arms, palms pressing, wide upper back, skull nice and heavy. So you start off with both feet pressing into the ground as you did right in the beginning. So both feet press and then relax. Both feet press and relax. As you do that, you're going to find that your pelvis responds. So as I press my feet into the ground, I find that my pelvis tilts, yeah, and that my bottom wants to lift off the ground. So I need you to follow that feeling. Yeah, I need you to go with that. So at some point, like at this point, I want your feet to press, the pelvis is tilting, and now I need you to lift your bottom, your pelvis off the ground. Small movement, and then I want you to relax your feet and relax your pelvis back onto the ground. So we're going to do that again. So you're pressing your feet into the ground, the pelvis responds, you let the pelvis come off the ground, and then you relax your feet and relax your pelvis back into the ground. We do that again, yeah? So your arms stay on the ground, your arms are long, your hands are active. I'm just using my hands to give you a bit of a visual, yeah? So this is what's happening in the pelvis, yeah? Little rocking action, and then to relax. We do that again. So now, what I want you to do with that is I want you to make that movement bigger. So I'm going a little bit higher. So at this point, I want to soften my spine and my pelvis back down on the ground, yeah? So I press my feet into the ground. My pelvis responds. It peels off the ground. I go a little bit higher. And then I need to sink the spine and the pelvis back down, and my feet relax somewhat. So I press my feet into the ground, my pelvis peels, spine peels off the ground. I go a little bit higher, and then I want to sink my spine back into the ground, my pelvis back into the ground, and my feet relax somewhat. Again, we're going a little bit higher, yeah? So again, a little bit more up into that spine, and then I'm going to sink. So this is known as sequential movement of the spine. Yeah, so basically what we're after is getting movement in each little vertebra. Yeah, I've gone quite high up now, and now I want to sink. I want to sink the front of my body to allow the back of my body to sink down into the ground. Okay, I want one more like that. So to peel, yeah, my hips are in line with my knees, and then to sink my ribs, the front of my body, to allow my back body to relax. Next one up, you're going to stay up. Yeah, so now take a moment. Ideally, your ankles are underneath your knees, so it's a much more secure position. Your feet are active, so your buttocks and your back of your legs, your hamstrings are working. You're opening through your quadricep muscles, so you're stretching these out. You're opening through your groin area, hips, knees in line. Okay, my back needs to be neutral, so watch out for hyperextension. We want to be in a more neutral position for today. So pubic bone, hip bones are still level here, and then arms are still on the ground. So we stay here for 4 counts. I want you to keep pressing your feet into the ground. 3 counts, 2 counts, so really active feet. 1 count, and then relax the feet, sink the spine down. Bring your right knee into your chest, give it a squeeze, place the foot down. Left knee into the chest, give it a squeeze, place the foot down. We're going to do that again, but we're playing with the arms. So again, foot 1.5 away from the pelvis, hands long, active pressing. So feet press into the ground, spine comes up. Take a moment. Are your ankles underneath your knees? Do you feel quite active through your feet? So that's going to help you stay up there. So nice and secure. Now we start with the right arm. Right arm reaches back, thumb points back, little finger up, right arm presses forwards. Left arm to reach back, thumb down, little finger up, press forwards. Right arm. So it's a reaching, it's a pressing. Left arm. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Active feet. I want one more on each side, yeah? Reaching through your hips towards your knees. Left arm is the last one. Take a moment. Soften. So I want you to sink the front body to allow the back body to sink into the ground. Bring your left knee in, give it a squeeze. Place the foot down. Bring your right knee in, give it a squeeze. Place the foot down. We're going to do that once more, and we're going to use both arms this time around. So push the feet into the ground, spinal curl up, come up to stay up. Are you still in neutral? Yeah. Hips and knees reaching away, feet are active. So feeling quite stable and strong through your legs and your feet. Inhale, both arms reach back. Exhale to press forwards. Inhale. If you find that you wobble around a little bit, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so your body will respond to that and it will work. The main thing is for you to try and keep some sort of balance between your left hip and your right hip. Yeah, so be very aware of active feet. Last one, press forwards, hands pressing into the ground, and then soften your rib cage, so the front body to allow the back body to sink. And this time around, bring your right knee in, keep it there, bring your left knee in, hug both those knees into the chest, and then from here turn on to the right side of your body. So we go. We're going to come now into a little bit more leg work, yeah? So we're going to work the outer thigh and the glutes. Right arm is nice and long, palm faces down. If it's very tight in your shoulder, palm forwards or palm up, yeah? We've got the towel for head support. We want to lift the right rib cage and the right waist off the ground. That's going to help us keep our abs and our back muscles active. Yeah, hip above the hip, knee above the knee, ankle above the ankle. Remember, your heels are in line with your coccyx. And then this hand, so I've got about 1.5 hands away from my chest. It's an active hand, elbow up, and my shoulder is not too far up, not too far down. So I find the in-between point. I straighten my top leg, flex the foot. The foot needs to be in line with the hip. So I'm going to start with trying to lengthen through the left waist. So I'm trying to stretch my left waist and my left leg as I come up. So I'm flexing to come up. I point, then control the movement back to hip height. So it's flex and point, yeah? So you can keep your left hand here. I'm just using my left hand to show you a few things. So I need you to try and keep your pelvis from moving, yeah? And the way to do that is, one, to keep your right waist and right rib cage off the ground as much as possible, yeah? And then through awareness, so you don't have to lift that left leg very high, yeah? Flex and point. Flex and point. Let's do one more. Flex, point. Now stay flex. We are going to add little pulses. We did this last week, so I'm going to bring my hand back here. 10 little pulses. 10, 9. So I imagine that I'm pushing against the surface. So here I'm pushing against gravity, and I could imagine that I'm actually pushing through water. 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more, and soften. Bring it down here. So again, I'm giving you quite a lot of reps. You don't have to do all of those reps, yeah? You could do 5 and then take a break. So we're going to extend the bottom leg now. So again, I need my right waist and ribcage off the ground. So it's very easy to slump down. You need to be active, yeah? Left knee here, right leg long. The focus now is to work the inner thigh muscles, yeah? So you're lengthening that bottom leg. You're reaching that bottom leg. At some point, you're going to feel that it wants to lift. You're going to go with that. Think inner thigh, and then relax the leg. So lengthen and float, and then relax. Lengthen and float, and then relax. Hands are gently active. Rib cage, waist lifting off the ground. Lengthen and relax. So I haven't given you a breath pattern here. We're not going to worry too much about that. We keep going. Lengthen and float, and soften. 3 more. I think that might be 10, or maybe more than 10. We're going to do 1 more. I want you to hold it here. And now we do our 10 little pulses. So think inner thigh, yeah? 10 little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Bend your legs to 45. Bring both your arms forwards. So we're coming into our open book. That right shoulder underneath your body, so it enhances the lift through the rib cage and the waist. Relax your head. If you know the exercise, you go straight in. If you don't know the exercise, you watch me for 1 rep, and then you join me. So it's inhale to reach the top arm to float, focusing on the thumb. Exhale at this point, relax the spine, open the arm. Inhale, reach the arm away. I've got very little space here. Exhale to come back. So I want you to keep that going. I'm just going to jiggle myself further forwards so I have more space, yeah? So it's inhale to reach, exhale to sink, so open, inhale to reach away, exhale to pull back. You keep that going. So inhale, reach, focusing on the thumb. Exhale, sink, arm opens, chest opens. Inhale, reach. Exhale, at this point my arm is relatively relaxed. I want my torso muscles to pull my arm back into position. 1 more. Reach, float, sink. Yeah? So it's the torso muscles I'm reaching that contract to help me carry my arm back into position and release. We're going to swap sides. So lying on the left side of the body this time round. So left arm long. So again, if you can, palm down. If it's too tight in the shoulder, forwards or upwards. Towel for support. Left waist and ribcage off the ground, legs at 45 degrees. Both hands gently active, if possible. Elbow up, and then straighten the top leg. So foot and hip in line. So I want to start through lengthening through my right waist. So I lengthen to lift, point to control down. So remember, the leg doesn't have to go very high. Your main focus is to try and keep your torso steady and your pelvis steady, yeah? So if you are finding that your pelvis is moving around a lot, you could possibly use your hand just to stabilize your pelvis somewhat, yeah? So in this manner, I'm just pulling my waist down a little. It's helping my pelvis stay steady. So as I lift my leg, it's able to stay more so in position. We keep that going. So again, I have no idea how many reps we've done. We're going to do 1 more here. And then point, flex, stay flex. And then from here, we do 10 little pulses. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Bring the knee in, straighten your bottom leg. Still keep lifting through the left waist and the rib cage, so stay active through your torso. Lengthen your bottom leg to float and then to sink. So we're wanting to work the inner thigh muscles, yeah, the adductors. So very often the foot likes to take over, so I need you to try and relax that bottom foot to allow for your inner thigh muscles to take over. We keep that going. So again, I'm still very aware of my hands. They're very gently active. I'm very aware of what's happening through my shoulder. So it's not too far up, not too far down. Keep that going. We're going to go a few more here. And then from here to hold it, stay here. 10 little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, soften, bend your legs back to 45. So we're doing our open book on the side now. Remember, the left shoulder goes under, so it's away from your ear. So I have a small towel here, but if you had a bigger towel, yeah, you'd have a little bit more head support. So waist and ribcage off the ground, right hand on top, legs stay at 45. So you're going to reach your arm forwards and upwards, focusing on your thumb. Open your chest, open through the arm, and then reach the arm, and then use your torso to pull back. So you're going to keep going. Again, I just need to jiggle myself further forwards, yeah? So it's inhale to reach, exhale to sink, inhale to reach, exhale to pull the arm back. So torso contracting. Yeah, lots of muscles through the torso that are contracting to carry the arm back to position. We're going to do 2 more here. So the breath is inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale to pull back. Last one, inhale. So keep your focus point, yeah, as your thumb, looking at thumb all the way throughout, yeah, and then to come back here. From here, we come up onto all fours, yeah. So I'm coming to the middle of my mat now. I've got my knees underneath my hips, my feet are parallel, and I'm reaching my big toe and little toe away. So I need you to be aware of what happens. So as you reach your big toe and little toe away, you should find that your feet land up automatically pressing into the ground, yeah. That will keep your legs stable and your pelvis stable. Then I need your wrists underneath, your shoulders, spread your fingers, and I need you to very gently press your palms and fingers into the mat, and that's going to help you stabilize as well. Elbows need to turn to face backwards, yeah? I don't want to be too hyperextended, I don't want to be too bent, I need to find an in-between point, yeah? So active hands, active feet, and then from here we're going to come into pelvic tilts. So we're going to use the sit bones or the buttocks as our leading, as where we're leading from. So we go. The buttocks move in towards each other, or sit bones move in towards each other. It creates that motion. The buttocks move away from each other, so sit bones away from each other, and it creates that motion. So it's, yeah. So if you know pelvic tilts, you just go straight in. It's still really nice to lead from your sit bones. I find when I lead from my sit bones or from my buttocks, it creates a little bit more space in my lower back. So if you have tight lower back or tight sacral area, leading from the center of the buttocks or from your sit bones creates a little bit more give and stretch. So now we're going to take that into big cat extension. So now, buttocks towards each other, follow that motion into flexion, so into a cat, look towards your belly button, keep chin and chest away. Then buttocks away from each other, that brings you into an extension, breastbone forwards, point of focus forwards. So towards each other brings you into cat to look in. Away from each other brings you into extension to look forwards. Breath pattern. Exhale as I come in. Inhale as I go forwards and upwards. Exhalation. Feet remain active, hands remain active. Yeah? We keep that going. I want one more. So cat, extension. Hold the extension. ease back onto your feet. If you're not able to sit all the way back on your feet, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you do what you can. Take a moment, yeah. So, child's pose. You could soften your forearms down just to give your shoulders and your hands a little break. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to add child's pose extension. So, you're going to lift your elbows off the ground if you did rest them on the ground. We're going to go, feet are active, hands are active. Breastbone goes forwards and upwards, and then round your spine, look in to ease back into child. So, breastbone goes forwards and upwards, then look in, so flexion, cat, into child's pose. And again, forwards and upwards, look in. Forwards and upwards, look in. We do 2 more, so extension, child's pose, extension, child's pose. So now, I did this last week. I gave you a little circular cat extension. So we're going to do that today. So we're going to go from here, extension. Then you're going to shift your body weight to the right. You're going to look in. So you're going to come into flexion, yeah, into cat. So you're going to look in, shift your weight all the way back, going over your heels all the way to the left, and at this point, breastbone forwards and upwards. So same direction. So it's, I shift to my right, I look in, yes, I'm rounding my spine, I go over my heels, I shift to the left, and then I go breastbone forwards and upwards. And again, I shift to the right, I look in, so I'm in flexion, I'm in cat, pass my heels, go over to the left, and I open up and I look forwards into extension. Yeah, we do that again. Keep that going. If you find you get a little confused, don't worry about it. Yeah, just need you to move your spine in many directions. Yeah, so you can be a little creative. Okay, and come back here. We're going to do that in the other direction. So you're going to stay as you are. I'm just going to give you a different view. So it's going towards. So I'm in extension. I'm going to go towards the left. I'm looking in flexion, over my heels, shifting to the right, extension. So flexion, looking in, over the heels, shift to the right. And again, yeah, almost there. We keep that going. So extension, flexion, extension, flexion. I want 1 more in this direction. And then stay here, extension, and then from here, ease back into child's. Again, if you can, all the way onto your heels. If not, you do what your body will allow you to do. Relax your forearms, relax your hands. Take a moment here. So 3 big breaths to finish. So we go big inhale, big exhale, 2 more breaths. Big inhale, big exhale, last one, big inhale, big exhale, and then from here, lift your elbows off, walk your hands towards your knees. So again, if you can, you sit on your heels. If not, you come up onto your knees. And that is the end of your workout. I hope you've enjoyed that and hope to see you next week. Thank you very much.